Hi, how are you?
Very good, thank you. How has your week been? Anything exciting?
It's been fine, to be honest. Just been busy as always. The week just flies. We always say that, though, don't we?
I know.
And here's the weekend upon us already.
Well, where time is ticking away. Last few weeks and the last few kind of topics we've had have been running related because of the redo marathon.
Yes,
on the 10th.
We thought we'd do a special sort of segment on that, but we're moving on. And something, as a personal trainer, people ask me a lot is about losing weight. It seems to be a universal
It is everyone's
interest.
prime target, isn't
it is. It's something that, and it's something that I think we're always going to have this debate about it. People have so many different ideas how to lose weight. One thing works for one person, doesn't work for another. Today I thought, let's touch on the subject of this. Losing weight is, like we've said, is an ongoing debate and an ongoing struggle. And there are so many fad diets and crazy ideas out there. Like we've spoken about this, haven't we? Spoken about all these cabbage soup diets and all these kind of things. And it does leave a lot of people, quite confused and frustrated, about exactly what to do to achieve the dream body that they probably want without giving too much up.
Yeah.
And I just don't believe that you should. It should all be about balance, shouldn't it?
Yeah, I know, absolutely.
Yeah, it is. And I feel sad because sometimes I have met people who believe they cannot ever lose weight. And I find that really hard to believe. I'm quite a scientific person. I'm just going to say that. Like, I believe in science. And I believe that, our system is designed in such a way that you can lose and gain weight. It's hard for some people. I understand that. We've all been born with genetics, and some people they find it really hard to gain weight, and others find it hard to lose weight. So let's just touch on the subject quite sensitively, because I know that it can be quite upsetting for some people. I feel that I have qualifications in this. I have a lot of expertise and knowledge in it, and even personal experience as well. I have lost weight, gained weight, and all of that as well. So I feel as if this could be quite an interesting topic today.
Yeah.
So we're going to call this topic calories in versus calories out. Laura, any idea what exactly a calorie is?
Oh, isn't it something to do with the amount of energy that it takes to throw a ball?
It's kind of close. Okay, so basically, we've all heard of calories in food, right? And we should have 2,000 calories a day. I've always been the kind of person that knows how many calories is in everything. Banana, 100, apple, 50. Yeah. I know everything. My husband, he's like fascinated, like, how do you know that? I just do. I used to be quite a calorie counter. I'm no longer a calorie counter. However, I kind of have an idea of what's in stuff. Basically, a calorie is a measure of energy.
Yeah.
So Laura's kind of right. 1 calorie is the amount of energy required to increase the temperature of 1 gram of water.
Ah.
Okay.
Nothing to do with throwing a ball.
Nothing to do with throwing a ball.
I just think it was quite random.
I don't know where she's got that from. If you can think about it like that. I mean, that's quite scientific, but it's to do with our bodies have internal thermostats, okay? So a calorie is energy, right? So what do we mean by energy? So energy is the capacity of a system to do work. So the human body requires energy to move, to breathe, to think, contract the heart, maintain all of our electrical gradients over cell membranes. That's very scientific. But on a molecular level, the body functions with an enormous complexity of chemical reactions. Okay, so that's a little maybe boring. But these chemical reactions require energy, which is where calories step in. So our body uses these energies or calories to drive, to move. You're burning calories right now. Sitting, doing nothing, lying in your bed, you're burning calories.
It's wonderful.
It's amazing, right? So you're burning calories on a daily basis. But of course, you can increase that by doing exercise. So the National Health Service in Britain advises that men should consume 2,500 a day to maintain your weight, and women 2,000. So that's to maintain your weight. So if you start to take in more than that, you're going to gain. If you take in less, you'll probably lose weight. So to me, it's that. It's calories in versus calories out.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of myth, eat a bit less and exercise a bit more. However, we're going to get to that. It's not actually that simple. So let me just put it like this. A kilo of fat is 7,000 calories.
Okay.
Okay? So, if you want to lose 1 kilo a week, you're going to have to do what?
Burn that 1,000 calories.
Exactly. Over 7 days, you'll have to burn 1,000 calories extra on top of what your body needs to function. Okay? Yeah. So, the best way you can do that is to remove 500 calories from your diet.
Yeah.
And then burn 500 extra through exercise. Yeah. So that's what we should all be doing if you're looking to lose weight, of course. If you want to maintain your weight, then you don't need to do that. But if you don't do these things, that's why you're going to gain weight. If you're eating too many calories and not moving, that's why you're gaining weight.
Yeah.
So I do sort of feel that that's why the scientific thing comes in, that you can lose it if you adjust it to your needs. Now, somebody who's a lot bigger body mass will burn more calories than someone who's smaller because they have more mass.
Yeah.
And the reason it would take somebody else who's smaller a lot longer is because it's not necessary. Your body, again, is smart. It doesn't need to be dropping huge amounts of weight if it's quite small already. So the thing to just bear that in mind. So, calories in versus calories out. And this is how many calories you need to maintain your weight. So let's think about it from a scientific point of view. Don't think of it from an emotional point of view anymore.
Yeah.
Think of it as numbers. Then it becomes detached from you. It's a scientific calculation then.
It's like looking at your bank balance.
Yes, exactly. It's a bit scientific,
like
right?
direct debit out here, pay a bill over there.
Yeah, exactly. Less Mars bars here, more exercise there. Okay, a bit like that, yeah? So how much energy then we actually eat and how much energy we expend really does matter. It's of utmost importance. So this is an unbreakable law of physics, and it isn't even debatable. You can absolutely lose weight taking in less calories than you expend. However, I should sort of stress here that doesn't mean if I say to you, Laura, right, you're allowed to have 2,000 calories today, but you want to lose weight, so let's eat 1,000 calories today, okay? That doesn't mean that Laura should go and eat 3 chocolate bars, okay? That's pretty silly, right? Basically, the idea that all calories are created equal is actually flawed.
Right.
So 1 calorie is the same as another calorie, but then it can have a different effect on your body, how you actually use that calorie. So the fact is that different foods can have vastly different effects on our body and go through different metabolic pathways before that energy is burned. So just focusing on the calorie content of food and disregarding the metabolic effects is a flawed way of thinking. So I wouldn't just think, right, well, I can eat 1,000 calories of rubbish. That's not really, it's not going to do you good.
No.
Your hormones will go a bit crazy, your blood sugar will be affected, and you'll probably end up eating more. You'll crash and burn at the end anyway. I'll be honest, I don't count calories. I really have no idea how many calories I consume in a day, because I don't, my weight is maintained and I eat a good diet, so it's not something that I need to worry about. Today's show is purely for people who need to lose weight and feel that they can. I'm just trying to tell you that you can with a little bit of science behind it, okay? For me, I certainly just try not to overindulge too much, and I just try not to deprive myself either. Again, it's that finding balance. I really believe in that. You're like that too, Laura. Laura follows a similar diet to myself. Like, when I say diet, I mean food, what we eat.
Yeah.
That word is used in a negative sense now.
Yeah, it's true. Like
right?
diet, it's like, what diet? It's like, well, just regular eating.
Just what I consume, my diet, you know.
Yeah.
And Laura's like myself, we follow pretty much organic, quite clean diets with wholesome sort of food.
Minus when the biscuit attack comes out, because that happens weekly.
I think we all have that.
Otherwise.
We all have that. If any of you spot me eating a cupcake, I do this as well.
Taking photos of you as evidence.
Absolutely, I am no angel, of course. But, we should definitely eat a varied diet. So, because, food provides us with a lot of nutrients and vitamins, and, eating a variety of food will make you feel so good. It will keep everything moving in the right direction, give your brain some power. And, protein as well is something that keeps you feeling full.
Yeah.
So it's good not to deprive yourself of that. You want to have something that makes you feel you won't overeat later. So, I did say about, calories are not all created equal. Protein, fat, and carbohydrates in our bodies are made up in different ways. I've had lately, this is something I'm going to just mention. I've had a few people lately say to me, oh, I don't eat fruit, it's got too much sugar in it. What do you think about that?
Well, fruit's obviously full of vitamins, though, and lots of really positive nutrients for you. So, yes, it's got sugar in, but it's not the kind of sugar you'd find in a bag of Haribo.
Yeah, well, this is it. This is what troubles me. It's like there's sugar in the sugar. I'll tell you this. There's a sugar in fruit called fructose. That's a natural sugar. This is why I stick to this diet that basically comes from the earth. I eat fruit, I eat vegetables because it's from the earth. It's what we were supposed to have. That's how I believe. It's fructose. I don't eat it all day long. I think we mentioned this before. Steve Jobs, creator of Apple, was a fruitarian. He only ever ate fruit. Yeah. That man was not overweight.
No.
But that's still a lot of one thing. I don't advocate having one of a food group too much. I've said it before, I know 100 times, but variety is definitely key. I'll just give you this example though. If you do look at fruit and protein being chicken, for example, okay? These two items, they do have, the calorie content could be the same, okay? So let's just say you've got 100 calories of fruit and 100 calories of chicken. It will affect your body in a different way. Yeah. The fruit will actually go into the liver and it'll be turned into glucose, which is sugar, okay? And then it's stored as a carbohydrate. if you don't burn that carbohydrate off, it will become fat. Okay, whereas the protein, you will actually burn 30% of that just digesting it.
Oh, wow.
So calories are getting burned just to digest that protein, okay, as it moves through your body. So that increases your metabolism as well. And that protein is then used in your body. It's not used as fuel, but it's used to repair muscles. So it's that age-old thing, variety, like I've said. I eat fruit every day. And you should definitely eat fruit, but you just don't eat too much of it because it can be stored. So I don't want to overcomplicate things. I've told you today the recommendations for men, 2,500, women, 2,000 calories to maintain your weight. To take that down, 1 kilo of fat is 7,000 calories.
Yeah.
So just think of it as a daily basis. I need to cut some calories from my diet and I need to move my body a little bit more. The Fitbit that we've spoken about before, the Fitbit is a great tracker. It tracks your daily activity levels. I am in a very active job. I have a dog that I walk as well. My activity levels are quite high. I burn a lot of calories, so I can eat a little bit more. I have some people, I know some friends who are quite shocked that they're not walking as much as they thought they would living in Doha, right? Yeah. So you might have to you don't have to get a Fitbit, but it does give you an idea that you're not actually moving as much as you might think you are.
No, it's true. It's worth taking the stairs instead of the lift.
Yes. Ultimately, I really do believe the only way to lose weight is to expend more energy than you consume. Hence that calories in, calories out theory. And you really should lose by that. So we're going to talk in the next show about something that's quite a subject of interest at the moment, and that's emotional eating, because a lot of people are eating out of emotion or boredom and gaining weight through that. So it's going to be quite interesting. And certainly text us or tweet us if you have anything you want us to cover.
Yeah. Well, we will see you after the weekend. Have a great weekend.
Yes, be good.